Hi, I'm Dr. George Gauthier. I'd like to help you live life and feel better. I'm the doctor to Hollywood's A-list, sports superstars, and music professionals. I've helped them. I'd like to help you also. My practice deals with holistic medicine, which is a form of functional medicine. Functional medicine is helping your cells be the best that they can be. Your cells make up your organs make up your body, and your body therefore is doing well if your cells are doing well. We've helped many people with this form of medicine, and they've come to see me for their health. To find me, you can find me at www.gauthierfunctionalmedicine.com. Gauthier is spelled G-A-U-T-H-I-E-R, functionalmedicine.com. We'll see you in there.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Dr. Broadcasting and Feel Better with Dr. George Gauthier. Dr. George, what are we talking about tonight?
Hey there, tonight it's about better sleep. So I'd like to have everybody out there live life and feel better. Tonight's topic, better sleep. Who out there doesn't like a good night's rest?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so compare a day without a good night's rest compared to a day that you have a wonderful night's rest. Let's face it, the whole day goes completely different.
Oh,
okay?
absolutely.
But scientists are kind of confused out there as in why we need sleep. That's kind of an unusual topic. It's like we can rest, we can get our energy back a little bit and restore our body a bit. But why do we actually really need sleep?
Yeah,
okay?
why don't we just stop moving for a couple hours?
And they don't know the answer. Right now, scientists says we have no good example of why human beings in general need sleep.
Okay.
Well, we're going to talk about better sleep. First, about definition. Sleep, which is the natural suspension of consciousness during which the powers of the body are restored. It's always good to have your powers restored, right?
Oh, absolutely.
At the end of the day. And then,
wasn't that like Superman with the sun and everything?
Yeah, or like Birdman, Birdman. There you go.
The sun, yeah.
Some good stuff. Solar powered. You're not having this up here. I can be solar powered too. So also another definition is a condition of the mind and body which typically occur several hours every night. Kind of a nebulous definition, isn't it? So both from Webster's, thank you Merriam-Webster, and other people giving our definition out there. So what is sleep? Sleep is triggered by the hormone serotonin going off in our brain. Mm-hmm. If we don't have a lot of serotonin, then we're conscious and we're up and we're mentally thinking, we're aware of our thoughts. And so if we have a lot of serotonin, which is the condition which we are sleeping in, then we kind of off. The counter to that is if you're going to have something that causes you to fall asleep, which is the hormone serotonin coming from our brain, then of course need a counter to that to keep us awake. And a lot of that is cortisol, which is released on the top of the kidneys, from the adrenal gland there. So to go to sleep, we want to make sure our cortisol is nice and low, our stress is nice and low, okay? And then we want the serotonin in our brain to be high. Both are very complicated molecules in our body. Hormones, they're some of the largest hormones, I'd say, molecules that we have. They're gigantic molecules. They're not small ones. They're very complicated to make. So therefore, sleep can be elusive out there.
Is that where narcolepsy kind of is the other side of it? You have more...
a bit. We have surges of serotonin and surges of cortisol, and it's a genetic problem usually. Mm-hmm. And there's some ways that we can kind of normalize the body in which it's not that much of a problem. But can you imagine being narcoleptic, or people sleepwalk too is another thing. You are not conscious when you sleepwalk.
Now, is that too much serotonin, or is it too little?
It's more of a neurologic condition in which you're very, very agitated. People who sleepwalk are very agitated to their nervous system. And so they're not conscious that they're doing it, but yet they're utilizing their body. They have full coordination, full feeling. Otherwise, we'd be tripping and stumbling all over the place, which would be horrible. You don't want to trip and fall over, let's say some coffee table, that's there, but you can't physically see it. You're not really aware of it. Okay. But body is.
It's our pinky toes that are finding all that furniture in the dark.
For sure. And so it's our level of consciousness. And
Okay.
there are 5 major levels when it comes to sleep. The deepest being REM sleep, or so rapid eye movements, and that happens in the lower number 4 and 5 depth level. Then we have unREM sleep, okay, or UREM. And when it comes to UREM sleep, that's levels 1, 2, and 3. That's like when you hit the pillow, kind of conscious, and you lose your consciousness a bit. Then we find second level, our heart slows down, our breathing slows down. Our third level, heart slows down even further, blood pressure goes down, and then our breathing slows down further. In a REM sleep, it is the lowest blood pressure, lowest heartbeat, and lowest consciousness at that point. So that's the 5 levels. And so
correlating with that is, isn't there also something with the different wavelengths of the brain? Is that essentially a broadcast to tell the rest of the body to kind of shut down or go into that state?
I agree. I would say that sleep mainly affects the brain, okay? So we have our consciousness and our subconscious. Scientists also know that we're kind of rearranging our subconscious. That's why we dream a bit, okay? We're not necessarily in control of it, so our subconscious trying to sort things out, what may have happened during the day, and which is pretty neat that we have, it's an 8-pound nerve in your head, okay? That's what your brain is, okay? It's the most sensitive thing in the body.
I don't think I've ever heard it put that way.
I'm going to have you go that route. Just imagine an 8-pound bowling ball, okay, which is right up here in the noggin, okay? And that's what sleep really truly affects. Our nervous system is the most sensitive system in the body, and so therefore it's important that we do get our sleep. Let's get into that a little bit. Sleep is vital to our good health. Adults need about 8 hours per evening, and kids and teens need anywhere between 8 to 10. They need a little bit more because their cells have to grow and divide. That has to happen. So sleep replenishes the body, and so it's kind of repair time. This is when our cells get to divide. You're at peace. You're not moving around a bit, and we have more access to energy for our body to repair itself. Also, sleep contributes to overall, quality of our health. We just mentioned earlier that if you don't get your sleep, what kind of energy you can have the next day? Pretty cruddy. We're not getting the ATP.
Sporadic energy, even.
Down. So sleep affects our energy. It also affects our immune system. So imagine if we're not getting sleep, we're not getting good division of our cells. We don't have the products we need to have them divide healthily, and can affect our immune system greatly. It's like a Xerox of a Xerox of Xerox of Xerox. You get enough of them, you start fading what the cell can really do. Yeah. So they know this is a huge thing. Sleep is this important, is that over a period of time, you're not getting sleep. It could be months, years, whatever. Some people don't sleep well, let's face it, for months and years, right? Yeah. Okay. Is actually decreasing people's lifespan.
Really?
Yeah, they have studies on that they're just not as healthy, their immune system degraded. We could talk about mental acuity.
Because we're only allowed to be up for a certain amount of time, and they're dipping into that being up time.
and just with the resources that we have to keep on going, and we get bottom of the well there, and of course stuff in the bottom well is not as good as the other stuff, right?
Not to mention the stress levels, because you said the counter action, or I guess the other side of the coin is the cortisol, and then that's the stress hormone essentially.
Yeah.
So now they're stressed longer than someone who would get 8 hours.
Correct. And we just went into 3 negative types of stress, last talk that we had. So that connects with this one quite a bit too, that the amount of stress we have in our life. Do you think stress can keep people up? You better believe it, okay? So that affects our hormones, affects how we're doing. So a mental acuity, we can talk about that. So sleep-deprived people, they're not functioning as well as work. So we do a lot of stuff with some of the corporations out there that we help keep their hormones doing well, their serotonin, their adrenaline, their cortisol, and we make sure they function at peak capacity, okay? So that's really important, because if you don't get your sleep, you can stare at your paper for a while, your computer, and you're like off. Okay, you're awake, but you're off. So your mental acuity goes down, and that's important too. So sleep is fantastic for that. Decision-making capability.
Okay.
Also another one. It's not just how sharp you think, but the reasoning, the wisdom a person has. If you don't get that sleep, you're not going to be as wise as you are as if you do get your sleep.
Be reacting more on muscle memory after that than
you're on autopilot. You're on autopilot. Let's face it. Mm-hmm. Another thing we notice too, if people are sleep deprived, is coordination. And your nervous system, once again, is connected to the brain and your spinal cord. Not getting enough sleep, your coordination is impaired. So this is where people become clumsy. You've seen people stumble, and sometimes they're not exactly drunk. They look drunk, okay? But they may not be getting a good night's sleep. That's important. And we've already mentioned that you culminate all these things we just talked about. So you have energy, immune system, mental acuity, decision-making, coordination, degradation of your nervous system. So you can see how this can affect people's lives.
So these are all the bad things.
Those are the bad things.
And someone out there has at least checked the box on 2 or 3 of those. Absolutely.
I believe it.
Everybody has. I mean, especially with a stressful week at work, or heck, even just a couple days of family or anything else coming through.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin said family and fish both go bad about 3 days in.
Yeah, right. So. Interesting. You also said like early to rise.
Absolutely.
Wealthy and wise.
Yeah.
Get sleep.
So how do we fix it, Dr. George?
So how do we fix it? Let's talk about, well, sleep, of course, is time for cellular repair. Here's some common sense ideas, okay? Common sense, I think, currently is a superhero quality out there nowadays. So we could have common sense Dr. Man, okay? Yeah, have that going on. So, so for better sleep, well, we got to keep well rested. A well rested day is a great day. So number one, let's say we have to be comfortable in our setting. Okay. So when we get to sleep, let's face it, we want to be in a comfortable room for it. So what does that mean? Well, what do we sleep on usually? You have an option. You can sleep on the floor, you can sleep on the couch, you can sleep on a sleeping bag, you can sleep in a tent on the ground, or you can sleep on a really, really nice mattress, okay? So that's sleep. Really, really nice mattress.
Hammock. Oh,
supporting
no,
a hammock.
Yeah.
Watch that back curve in that hammock, okay? You have to be a pretty tight hammock. As where the phrase, of course, comes from sleep tight, So the ropes on the bed from medieval times is, you make sure all the ropes in your bed are nice and tight, and you have the hay kind of mattress on top. Literally the phrase, so when it comes to your hammock, sleep tight. There you go.
Okay.
So we want everyone out there sleeping tight. So number one, be comfortable. Your mattress is not just a mattress, it's truly an investment. We spend about 1/3 of our life on our mattress. Okay, so some less, some more, but I'd just say 1/3 is a pretty good number. So it's 8 hours per day, and you want one that's comfortable for you. And everybody's different on that. So I highly recommend, while shopping for a mattress, to get your best sleep, is to try one out. A lot of companies out there have a 90-day return policy, so you can go in, buy the mattress, and then you can return it to them, saying, "Hey, I don't like this one." And I do suggest people try it out for about 90 days. I think that's really important.
Is that how long to see if you're a spring man or
I think you can probably find out within a week to 10 days.
Okay.
And I'll do a little plug here. I like supporting good companies. There are many, many good mattress companies out there. I myself prefer the Sleep Number bed or Select Comfort.
Okay.
It is literally like a big air mattress you can blow up. Okay, so people that have them out there love them. They come with pillow tops and a whole bunch of different accessories. So when it comes to sleep, it's a really nice, comfortable sleep. And if you have, let's say, a wife or another, they got a nice baffle down the center of it that they can select what pressure they have on their side, and you can have a completely different pressure on your side.
Okay.
Baffle you got to run into, which is there, but
instead of getting 2 twins and kind of just
there you go, yeah, which could be someone on. I guess you could do that too, to be honest. Except you really can't alter the state of, depending on how firm you want your mattress.
Now,
which is good.
There are some out there that do change the elevation.
Yeah. Imagine having a cold congestion. How many people do sleep after colds? Show of hands, okay?
Yeah.
So your sinuses are filled up. You're up all night. What do you think that does to your immune system, not getting your sleep?
Whoa.
It kills your immune system, so you get the cold longer, right? So having the ability to kind of raise the top of the bed, like the old Craftmatic beds, back in the 50s and 60s, in the hospital beds, you can raise it up so you can let the sinuses drain a little bit better, which is great for you. Also, raising the legs up, having to kind of bend your knees, wonderful for knee problems. Okay? So you can raise the top of the bed, then you can raise the knees up a little bit also, okay? So when you do that, it helps your low back. So you're probably more like this. You can breathe fine, you're breathing easier, your sinuses are draining, and because you're taking your knees in, your legs in like so, and your feet out over here, just having your knees bent, you don't traction your sciatic nerve for back pain. So people with back pain out there which aren't getting sleep due to back pain, okay, another reason, not getting sleep, or anything, and sometimes even side in position or whatever, but having your legs up in general is fantastic for decreasing traction on the sciatic nerve, which is a nerve coming out of your low back that innervates your legs. Okay, so by having a bed that can do that, and let's face it, not all beds do that.
Oh, absolutely.
We're pretty happy sleeping on the couch, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least a night, but by night 2 or 3, you're.
Sometimes I'm comfortable sleeping in the doghouse. Okay, so that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, by night 2 or 3, you should be buying flowers so you can get back.
Yeah, right. I've already said, without a doubt. So, mattress, you want, of course, good support. What feels comfortable for you. Okay, that's highly important. So there's a lot of good mattress companies out there. So when do you get a new mattress? And honestly, people ask that all the time.
Yeah.
So they do wear out, especially not like this. The Sleep Comfort One or the Select Comfort One is good for about 20 years. The Tempur-Pedic, the foamy ones are good for 20 years. Okay, they have a 20-year warranty on them. Okay, so that's a long time.
You can't have pets that long.
Very few, a tortoise maybe, I don't know. So there is that. So with the mattress in general, 7 to 10 years, if you typical Sealy Posturepedic and things, you'll notice when they get ruts in them. I don't care if you switch every quarter, turn them over, rotate them, things like that. Eventually they will decompress. You might weigh 100 to 200 pounds and you're sleeping on this mattress day in, day out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then not moving either, because
Yeah.
your body is locked up in REM. So you're putting it right on that pressure every single time,
out.
Every night.
Yeah, that's the neat thing about REM sleep, which you mentioned too. It's the only time when the body, where all the muscles relax. So people say, like when we're, let's say we're working on someone's structure on their body, as we do in our clinic, and they're out of place, they go, Doc, what happened to me? Well, when you go to sleep, your brain, literally like a computer, shuts all the muscles off. You have an off switch, so everything relaxes.
Okay.
And if your mattress is not good, you have a rut in it or something, it can distort your rib cage, your bone. You have a bad pillow for your neck, getting a pillow is also great. A good pillow for the neck is great for night's sleep too. So here, if your pillow's off and you're stretching your muscles and the vertebrae that go with it, guess what? They can get out of place, okay? And then when you wake up, it's an instant turn on the computer, and all of a sudden your vertebrae are out of place. Okay, and then people get pain in the neck, pain in the
your
low
muscles
back.
come back.
They come back
like,
instantaneously, and your vertebrae's out. Okay, it's an instantaneous thing. Remember the old TV sets? You used to turn them off, and you have the white dot in the center of the screen. And then when you turn them back on, you get the white dot first, and they expand. It's instant like that, like a computer. When you shut off your computer and turn on your computer, that's your brain with your body, your muscles, and your structure. Okay, so that's when you fall asleep. All the muscles relax.
You're saying I need to get a good mattress so that when I do boot back up, I'm not boot back up with
exactly. You don't want to be like Shiva or something when you boot back up or something. So you like being well rested. So a couple of mattresses is great. Number 2, common sense. Do you want to sleep on burlap, or do you want to sleep on 300 count Egyptian cotton sheets? Okay.
300 count.
Or even 1500, right?
3,000.
So we go there. I've never seen 3,000 before. That'd be amazing. I got to seek that out. Okay. 3,000 count Egyptian cotton sheets. So you want the sheets to be nice too. Okay. So cotton's also really cool. I have some people love satin. Some people love what else is out there. There's satin sheets. There's cotton sheets.
I've even seen the jersey ones where they almost make sheets out of sweatpants.
Okay, there you go.
Material.
Some of those sweatpants out there are incredibly comfortable, though.
Absolutely.
And of course, it wicks some of the body moisture away. So some women that go through menopause when they're sleeping, they'll get a hot flash and stuff, which will wake them out of stone cold sleep, okay? Because they have a hot flash, you got to actually get up out of bed and change your clothing. But when it comes to some of the stuff on your sheets in general, with that, you want something that kind of wicks the moisture away from you, because, and that we could talk about coolness of room too. We want a cool room when we sleep. A hot room, people toss and turn on a humid night. Humid night, it's hot out, humidity's up. So I like humidity in the bedroom to be about 40 to 50%. That's because if it's 26%, that's like the Sahara Desert, and you can literally wake up with nosebleeds. Okay. So in the wintertime, with your furnace on and everything, you can get nosebleeds, you get congestion, your sinuses clog up. So humidify the house.
You wake up with those rocks in your nose.
You better believe it. Yes, and you don't want that. Okay. So therefore, having nice humidity in the room is critical. Okay, for a good sleep. You don't want it too dry, but we do want it cool, okay? So a bit colder, which is good.
So cool is in like 64-ish?
Everybody
50s?
Some people that love it 62. I have some people that love it 52. Don't quote me on that. I have some people, I like between 68 and 70 degrees.
Okay.
I have some people that hate it below 72.
So you're saying not just open up the windows in the middle of winter.
I'm saying no, not quite.
And get 7
Not quite, but in the fall could be kind of fun though, okay? So that could work out pretty good. So when it comes to compatibility with your significant other, wife, spouse, things like that, make sure you guys have the good side of same sleeping temperature.
Well, I have to sleep by the window because I'm a hot box.
I'm the same way. I'm part bear, so there you go. So that's a good thing. So we want nice mattress, nice sheets. Number 3, we want quiet. Quiet, please. Library. Okay, there you go. We want no noise, no intermittent sounds. So it's what wakes us up from a deep sleep is we have intermittent sounds. So everything's quiet, sounds great, and something will tick in the room like that, kind of wake you up or something. Something in the hallway, and it's the intermittent sound that puts us in the fear and caution deep in our subconscious, and then immediately wakes us up. Boy, and when you're up, try to get back to sleep, right?
Oh, yeah, especially getting woke up by a sound.
Like that. Right, exactly. You may not know what it is.
Do you recommend white noise?
I do. Yeah, you better believe it. So I recommend white noise for that in general. Even earplugs. So I myself, I can't do comfortable earplugs. I do white noise when I have to, but sometimes I'm doing solo hormone-wise. When I'm out, I'm out. Long day, you're just out. You're snoring and that type of stuff.
I've got a 4-month at my house, so we have to have that white noise on. We have to have a little bit of light just in case. And I know I'm sleeping better. The boss lady maybe not so much, but I know I am.
Yeah, it helps, and we all need it. I mean, how grumpy do we get? We don't have it.
No,
we don't have good sleep.
She's very grumpy. We get grumpy.
Yeah. So when it comes to sounds, earplugs, white noise, and just maybe have a real quiet room would be great. Imagine being in a hotel and being kept up all night with the elevator going up and down, the next elevator shaft, whatever. That's some kind of convention or something. Yeah, it's kind of blows the night, doesn't it? And hurts the convention on that too. So you did mention about some low-level light. A lot of things when it comes to the eyes. We like very, very good darkness in general. So we want a good set of lights. We have a lot of ambient light in America. Okay, so there's very few places that are truly ultra dark, and go to bed. And so we have a lot of ambient lights. We want good shades. Okay, so we keep that ambient light out. All right, so good blinds, good shades. No light pollution. Okay, that's we talked about using cold temp, and then go to bed at the same time. So we do have a hormonal pattern when it comes to the adrenals and the serotonin in our brain and the cortisol, and it's a cyclical pattern. So going to bed around the same time every night is really not that hard to do. You might catch, Jimmy Fallon's monologue or, something like that, and then it's like, hey,
you got that trigger. Whatever,
yeah, we do. Yeah, it's like we don't have monologue, let's do the rest of the show. Let's go. So there you go. There is that too. So we want to make sure we go to bed at the same time.
Now, is that because you're going to end up waking up at the same time and have a
Yeah, it's cyclical. Like it's because of the hormones and your circadian rhythm.
Should I be looking at? So if I'm saying I need to be up at 7 o'clock every morning and feel decent, we're all a little
I'd be bed by 11.
Well, okay.
And what's a good time to fall asleep in? It varies from person to person. I know some people can fall asleep in a minute. It takes me probably about 5 minutes or so.
So you're saying go to bed at 11 just in case it may take you an hour or so.
Or maybe even at 10:30. If you know you may have some insomnia going on, and it's like, hey, I can't get to bed right away. You can. I hate to state this, plan it, prepare for it, and get to bed. You're going, hey, I got a long day tomorrow. Sometimes I have a long day. I might be in bed at 9. Get some extra rest because I know I got a long day. So that helps too. Another thing, people are going to shoot me on this, but it's highly important too. No nap. Okay? No nap out there.
Oh, you're killing me,
I'm sorry. That afternoon nap, which is priceless on the weekends, not so great during the weekdays, okay? So, plus we normally at work at that time too, okay? That doesn't help either, okay? So no napping. Napping, of course, interrupts that system because, once again, serotonin puts you to sleep. Cortisol is high in the morning, like an alarm clock, and low when you go to bed at 9 o'clock. So if you're getting...
resting our eyes? What about closing our eyes
for
20 minutes?
That's fine. That's okay, because you're probably not going to sleep. You get some rest. Rest is fine, but no true sleep, no nap, okay? So that's interesting too. Another thing for deeper sleep and good sleep is no food or water 2 to 4 hours before bedtime. And when it comes to that means eating a really big meal 2 to 4 hours beforehand, because that digestion can disturb our sleep, okay? So you can have a light snack before bed. Definitely grab a sip of water, not just a sip, an okay amount of water. Too much, guess what's going to happen? Too much water. You wake up. I got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Absolutely. You have to walk to the toilet, walk back, get your way there, get your way back. And of course, some people can fall right back asleep. Others can't. Okay. Yeah. And then we have some elderly that go to the bathroom due to diuretics they're on. They have some other conditions, congestive heart failure. They're up 4 to 5 times per night.
Oh,
okay.
Goodness. And
imagine if you can possibly get any good rest after that. Those people, since they're not working, I could recommend an afternoon nap for. Yeah, get that nap in, which is good. Okay. So people ask me all the time, hey, doc, is it good to exercise, before bedtime? No, because it energizes your body. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure goes up, you get all kind of, for lack of a better term, all the cells are agitated. Definitely harder to go to sleep.
How long is a good cool down? Because sometimes people, the only time they have to work out is maybe after work or anything like that.
And unfortunately, I'd say a minimum 3 hours.
Okay.
And so we'll get into a sleep pattern there too. So we'll talk more about that later. So as we can guide ourselves into a deep restful sleep, we'll talk about that. And this is going to kill people too. Boy, sometimes guilty is charged on this one. No screen time before bed.
See.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, of course you stop at 3 or 4 minutes before you actually go to sleep, right?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. But then again, you might be on. Just 3 or 4. You might be on an hour and a half. Looking at FaceTime, communicating with people, whatever. And here's the thing: when it comes to your computer, when it comes to your phone, when it comes to your tablet, whatever, is that a constant light? You know this, Sonar. You know this.
No,
so is it constant light, or how? What is it really?
It flickers.
It flickers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, because that's fascinating, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And it flickers at you 60 times a second.
Sure does.
So if you're in a fluorescent, condition, we're an LED here. But if we had fluorescent lights and I waved my hand at a certain amount, you'd see it chop, 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 chop if you do it at the right speed. Okay. Same thing. Now here's the weird thing: when you're looking at your tablet or computer, we're talking about eye strain, things during the day, but it's flickering at you 60 times a second. So your eyes can't perceive it. Your eyes go, this is just normal 24 frames per second, if you know what I mean, okay, when it comes to film, right? But your brain can. That's where you get brain tired.
Wow.
Your brain can perceive the 60 flashes per second. And that it doesn't tire the brain, but not when it's good restful sleep. It literally agitates the brain. So no screen time before bedtime, gang. I know you want to shoot me, but don't.
That's where a lot of people were even, they come home and they're like, man, I had such a day. I didn't really do anything. I was sitting at my computer.
There you go.
I maybe got up and walked around a little bit, but they don't feel, it's not a physical tired.
It's a brain tired.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and what do we do every time we do that? We flip on another screen.
Oh yeah, sure. And it's escapism, because we're currently not satisfied with what's going on in our head a little bit. So the way around that, so people ask, I do say, hey, what's a good way? So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. So we have a choice of this getting archaic here. So you have your tablet in front of you, okay? Or you can have an actual real book.
Get out of town. They still make those?
Yeah,
they still make those, Doc?
Chopping down trees for these things? You got to be kidding, So, they still do that. So reading a paper book is not flashing at you 60 times a second, and which I recommend an LED light next to the bed, okay, as opposed to anything might blink at 60 times per second.
Because that's still blinking, a fluorescent or these guys here.
Exactly. And if you're thinking no screen time is an evil thing to deal without, okay, here we go. Number 12, no caffeine.
Caffeine.
No caffeine.
So
caffeine about 3, 4, 5, 6 hours before bedtime. I'll stretch it and I'll say 4. So you don't want caffeine 4 hours before bedtime. I hear people out there moaning in the hallway going, no caffeine.
I'm a Navy man,
Okay,
Doc.
yeah, right. You live on it.
It's
a food group.
Absolutely.
It's a food group, for Pete's sakes.
I can drink half a pot of coffee and be out in 5 minutes if I decide.
And that's cool, because you train your body to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay? But then again, the wear and tear you're developing from that.
Well, it's shifting gears. You're eventually going to wear out your clutch.
Exactly, or your transmission.
Absolutely.
There you go. What makes the car run? Well, your engine and your transmission.
See,
there you go. What makes the car go?
Electrical engineer and a biologist walk into a room to talk about cars.
Is this some type of joke here? It's like, we have an engineer and we have a doctor walk into a room. And the bartender say, is this some type of joke? So anyway, let's talk about some do's. We got some of the don'ts out there. Let's talk about some of the do's right now. So number 1, a sleep routine. Okay, I love this for people out there who are true insomniacs, okay? People that no matter what, they work a hard day like we just described, 8-hour day, 12-hour day. They are dead tired. They hit the pillow, okay? And boom, their eyes are just wide awake, okay? They can't get to sleep for the life of them. You put a gun in their head and they can't go to sleep, okay? So it comes to insomniacs out there.
People have insomnia. A bit more stressful, too.
A little bit on that anyway. Probably true. But they're getting night after night of no sleep, and eventually the body will eventually crash. It'll go like, that's it, you're getting sleep no matter what, but that's not truly a good, deep, restful night's sleep, all right?
I've heard 72 hours straight with no sleep, your brain acts like you just took LSD.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Is what I've heard from military.
I have some military people out there too that are in the persuasive area, and when it comes to keeping people up, they're good at it, and we all go through boot camp up and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
And they're good at keeping people up, and it just really can, well, let's face it, decision making, right? And things of that nature can kind of get down. So I like offering people a sleep routine when they're in insomniac, they can't sleep. There's a deeper cause we will talk about later in the show. We'll end with it when it comes to people that are insomniac.
Won't your body just force you to sleep at that point then?
It can. You can go out and not wake up no matter what. You're just out.
Wow.
So, or sometimes you're in a situation that you're up for, let's say 4 days in a row, and you have someone that's, on your case 4 days in a row, and you cannot get to sleep. Then you can easily sleep for 3 days straight.
Wow.
Imagine, now, I'm going to have you guys think about this. Sleeping 3 days straight and not going to the washroom, okay? So that's what control sleeps have over your body.
Yeah.
So in 3 days, I don't think anyone awake out there can go, let's say, 24 without going to the washroom.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So 3 days, when you're out, okay? And that's what control your body has when it comes to sleep. So sleep routine, let's talk about that. So with insomniacs, we develop anything that feels comfortable to them to decrease the agitation in their body. So it could be a hot bath. I prefer, in this case, a hot bath over a hot shower. I can handle a hot shower too, but a hot shower can be stimulating, depending on what type of shower that you have. So therefore, I prefer a hot bath, 20, 30 minutes or so. It does help relax the body, takes the blood pressure down, slows down your heartbeat, slows down your nervous system. You can close your eyes, get some relaxation in on you, okay? So when it comes to sleep routine, there, no TV, find something that's very calm for you, all right? So, we've already mentioned you'll get to bed at the same time. That's also critical when it comes to your hormones. So that sleep rhythm, that body rhythm is great.
Start your routine at the same time.
Yeah, it's same thing too. And it just is designed to relax you. Sometimes people have to, let's face it, we get home from a day at work, we may have to get away from our spouse or someone other family and stuff. It's like, hold it. Hey, give me 20 minutes,
Yeah.
Give me 20 minutes of my very own time. I am to come down from work. How many times do people hear that? I got to come down from work, right?
Yeah.
So, and some people do that in the car on the way home if they have.
I got to come down from traffic. That's
well, there's that too. Yeah, and some people, I don't know anyone that enjoys traffic. Okay, so you got to come down from traffic, and sometimes you might sit in your driveway, right? A little while or
sometimes.
Just,
sometimes I'll even sit from the house. I'll sit outside and get ready for traffic or mentally prepare.
Kind of gird yourself for battle.
I need about 5 minutes to prepare myself for the next step. Once I'm there, then
things are good. So when it comes to sleep routine, so especially with true insomniacs. Okay, let me see. Listen to calm music. Okay. I think that's great too. Listen to calm music.
With lyrics or without?
I'm a without lyric person, but I know people that like their favorite artist. And I'm more calm. We're not talking about acid rock or maybe some rap, get you going, some rockabilly or some heavy metal, going on. So nice stuff. Meditation is another good thing to do. So taking your time out, and so just actually closing your eyes and just willing your body to relax. Do some imagery in the mind. So nothing. Just kind of nice, gentle imagery, being next to a stream in a forest in a glade or glen or something, and the sun's shining, the birds are feeding, the butterflies are flapping, that type of stuff. So progressive relaxation, the meditation. Next step is willing your body to relax, going through your nervous system, starting from your toes, working up your body, and we've talked about that in other shows too. So it comes from progressive relaxation. It's a fantastic.
It's almost like targeted relaxation.
You better believe it.
You're saying toes, but I need you to relax. Ankles,
for sure,
and work your way right up.
Yeah, and
it sounds silly, but in practice, it
works really good.
Amazing.
And do not permit yourself to go to the next body part without making sure that body part beneath it is relaxed.
Don't just go through a list.
That is key. Yeah, it's very, very key. So decrease excessive brain stress too. So that meditation, that constant relaxation is good. It's fantastic for you. Okay. Let's talk about good foods we can eat and supplements. Okay. So now once again, we're coming to the point in the show here where these are temporary fixes, okay? And sometimes temporary fixes are good for people who don't have much of a problem. But then again, we run into problems with people with true insomnia. So we'll get to those tough cases later. So number one, tryptophan, okay? Tryptophan is amino acid. Everybody hears it's high in turkey meat, okay? There's other things that they don't really parade around that are higher in it. So believe it or not, shrimp has higher tryptophan. Shrimp, lobster, is good. And the big surprise is elk. Elk has 2 times the tryptophan that turkey has.
Wow.
So you want to get a good night's rest, go grab some elk. Anyway,
elk roast right
yeah, like elk roast, elk steak, there you go. It'd be kind of cool too. So,
elk, the other red meat.
Yeah, elk, the other red meat. Yeah, right. So, also increasing vitamin B6. Let's talk about that. Increasing vitamin B6 is good for you because that increases our melatonin. And melatonin in the body, which we get by converting sunlight. So sunlight, melatonin gets converted in our skin. And melatonin is a precursor in the brain to serotonin. If you don't have the melatonin precursor, okay, you can't make the serotonin and you can't fall asleep as well, okay?
Oh, really?
So you want to get the melatonin in your body, and that's also a supplement out there you can get. On the bottle it says, hey, take 3 milligrams. I'm a bigger person. I'm about 200 pounds in that area, so I take 2 of them. Mm-hmm. So I like for most patients and most adults about 6 milligrams. Here's the thing about melatonin. If you start supplying your body with it, what's going to happen?
You're going to create more melatonin?
Yeah, you get more melatonin with it, but eventually your body is going to depend on the outside source, and it's going to stop making melatonin, creating insomnia, okay? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to melatonin, only use that for 2 weeks. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, okay? Mm-hmm. Once again, it's a crutch, okay? Melatonin is a crutch. If you're having a rough day, rough time, whatever, take some melatonin. GABA is another thing. It's an amino acid you can take for the body that crosses the blood-brain barrier in the brain and kind of conks you out pretty well. Melatonin, GABA, good combination.
After a great day out at the park, or just laying out outside the beach, obviously you relax and everything. But when you start to get a little come back to the house and the stars come out and everything, and you get that, you definitely got some sun today.
Yes,
that thing
sure.
where your body's almost a bit more relaxed.
And you
is that because of the melatonin?
And here's another thing: the fresh air is fantastic too. So you get the sunshine, the fresh air. You're no longer with stale air out there. So I recommend to people. This is a general recommendation for everybody out there. 20 minutes outside, get some sunshine on your bones, get some fresh air in your lungs, okay? Your body will thank you for it.
That's great.
So,
is melatonin to take, is that better than taking maybe an Ambien or any of those others?
Yeah, we'll get to that. So we'll talk about it right now. So there's medical things too. Okay. So I'm a little on the holistic side of things. That's something. We'll do rice and tea next real quick. Okay. So rice, high glycemic index, can conk you out. I don't recommend it for diabetics. Okay. So, brown rice is better for you, but rice has such strong glycemic index and such strong carbohydrate, affects the brain, and you want to sleep afterwards. Just like after eating, let's say some Asian food in general, you might eat it again in 3 hours. Your body clears it so quick. Okay. So it's got a little bit.
And it's that white rice.
White rice.
High mostly it. Not the MSG. It's right. It's the white rice.
Yeah, give me the carbs. Give the brain the carbs. They'll talk out really well. So it increases the glycemic index. And then teas. We have certain teas out there that are great too. People say, tell me about herbal teas. No caffeine out there, gang. Okay, want the herbal teas. So we're looking at valerian root tea. We're looking at chamomile. We're looking at lavender. We're looking at skull.
Rooibos.
Yeah.
Teas. The red teas are really good.
Category. Flower things too. So there's about 6 or 8 of them out there that are like that. So we've mentioned the top ones there, and they're just kind of herbal teas, which is fantastic. Let's talk about meds. So we just touched upon that subject. So we have Ambien and we have Abilify and stuff. I think it works for a lot of people that we are forcing the body into sleep. Okay, and you go to your doctor. You say, doctor. You go to your practitioner. Say, hey, I'm not going to sleep. But it's like, well, are you stressed out? Oh, yeah, I'm stressed out. Do you have this going on? Oh, yeah, I got that going on. Let me write you a script for Ambien or Abilify or some of the other. Let's just call them sleep-inducing drugs. Let's just call it that. And it works on helping decreasing blood pressure in your body all over. So there's no pill that you take that goes to the stomach and goes directly to. I'm going to go to the brain. It goes through, circulates through. Liver's got to handle it. Kidney's got to handle it, and then it kind of opens up your blood vessels, and your blood pressure goes down a little bit, heart rate goes down a bit, and you get a better night's sleep. I'll have people just check. I always have people check the contraindications. Any type of medicine in general. So it's funny how they put that at the end of the ad. I can't get to sleep. It causes sudden heart attack, stroke. I can go on and on. You might cause sleepwalking, suicidal thoughts and tendencies, and these are things that they have to list that are common-ish, okay? They're not going to list something that's not common, okay? So when it comes to some of the meds, they're very strong. People have nightmares they can't get out of. I've had people having like rats crawling out of their buttonholes or hands coming out of the wall. They said, okay, I'm swearing off this thing. It's a chemical. It's a chemical.
During that process of sleep, your brain shuts off your muscles.
Right.
Now, what if your brain wakes up when all of your muscles are shut off?
And that can happen.
Into that lucid dreaming.
You're kind of like trapped. Yeah. But when it comes to the American medical system, that is what they do, okay? So, I mean, it's to a lot of people, it's a legitimate form of getting to sleep. So you just have to comment on that, okay? But I do caution everybody, and your doctor should always caution you about the side effects, that it's not just a microscopic print. Get out that magnifying glass and find out what it's really saying, okay? So that's enough kind of on the meds. So the consequences I find are too strict when it comes to heart, and then his stroke and things like that is just too serious for me to consider that. I think there are better ways.
Your body has a natural way of putting yourself to sleep and going to sleep.
So,
it's more so like I get most of your philosophy with a lot of the things here is let the natural process take over. How do we bolster that natural process instead of just forcing it to do it?
Let's get into that, because everything up to this point, in the time we've been talking here tonight, and this whole live thing that we're doing here, everything I've talked from this point on has been a quick fix. Everything that we've mentioned, all the things we can do.
Buying a mattress,
you got it. All that's a quick fix. And out of all that, that's not going to work for everybody. Okay, so the people, like we'll call them the true insomniacs out there, they're having very difficult sleep problems. We know that deals mainly with the cortisol content of your body, okay? So sometimes you can't make the serotonin, it's what puts us to sleep, but there's also a big connection between how much cortisol stress you have in your life. So here's the interesting fix for that, okay? So if we detoxify the liver, we work with the digestive system so we can get decent nutrients in the body, and we help support the adrenals, all of a sudden people are sleeping deeper. They're not waking up at night because their circadian rhythm, and when they go to sleep with the little parabola of your cortisol, once again high in the morning, low at night, well, there's no kind of disruption. There's no something that takes the cortisol offline, okay? So therefore, getting your cortisol and hormones in balance is the actual solve for getting better sleep, besides some of the small stuff. There are people that don't need much help. That's the small stuff we talked about. The people that do need really, really big help, we ask you to contact us, okay, so we can help you with your adrenals on that. Okay?
Absolutely. And if you'd like to contact Dr. George, we've also got the website right up here at the top, but it's GauthierFunctionalMedicine.com, and they can also find you on Facebook, too. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct, yeah. So that'd be Gauthier Functional Medicine.
Perfect. Yeah. So I guess we'll wrap up just a little bit, but for the most part, sleeping is absolutely a necessity.
It is
a necessity.
It's necessary for life.
You told us that this is something that your body naturally does, just like breathing in and out. You need sleep as well. You stop any one of those, you
better breathe. Stop your heart.
Exactly.
Stop your heart. Stop breathing. Stop sleeping. Yeah, your body will force you into it, but you won't be healthy, and then the type of rest you're getting, it can cause serious problems.
And you said to take a nice routine, and with that routine, maybe have some white rice for dinner to kind of start it off, and then move into maybe a bath time. But during this, you're no caffeine. Very little screen time.
Yeah, screen time. There's a bunch.
Listening to stuff. Maybe throw some lavender essential oils in your bath or something like that. I mean,
do some aromatherapy at that time. Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, and some of the people out there, they have busy lives and busy kids and busy as everything, but there are things that you can still do to set your routine.
Incredibly simple things too. Get that tea in you, that rice. Get the B6, get some melatonin if you have to.
Can I supplement that with like maybe some warm milk or something at the end of the night?
You definitely could. Warm milk, once again, has tryptophan in it. Okay. It's for people that we try to have people steer away from dairy in general. But we have the, remember the hot cocoa, stuff like that, or some warm milk. You can even warm that up. God forbid in the microwave. Okay, when you can do that, So we do stay away from dairy because a lot of people, a high percentage, range are allergic to it.
Okay.
It actually disturbed the stomach, but even though it's got the
Really?
tryptophan, okay, so go elk, go turkey.
Okay, we go elk milk?
Go turkey, elk milk, and no, probably not. Elk milk.
Elk, you have a turkey and rice
turkey
burrito?
rice is great. Yeah, that is fantastic stuff for you.
And mattress. You told us exactly to find a mattress because
you like.
And you've said it too. You said the same thing that they keep telling us online. Hey, you spend so much time there. You might as well.
Okay, it's not a cost. Don't ever think it's a cost. It's not a cost. It's all about your health, and let's face it, any smart person out there will tell you a mattress is an investment. Okay.
So a mattress and an elliptical.
There you go. Right.
Things that we
mattress
need
or car. I don't know. Mattress, car, TV. I don't know.
To invest into yourself. You say, okay,
exactly. Self-investment or a massage once a week.
There you go. That could be good too. Also, if you're looking, right up here.
There you go.
Gauthier Functional Medicine. Make sure you check it out. The other thing is now that you've got everything all together, finish it off with a nice meditation.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Get the bed, progressive relaxation or meditation with that. And just, I think it's very important mindset. A mindset is willing yourself into a great night's sleep, looking forward to a great night's sleep, looking forward to a great tomorrow. So when you wake up, you just have that implanted in your head.
Thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah,
there
you go. There's a song there.
Absolutely.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
No, that's great. So Dr. George and I are just going to take a quick break. You guys get all your questions together. Throw them in here about sleep, about what to do before you go to sleep. Are there any meditations, or are there anything to listen to? Get your questions in the chat now. We're going to go for just a few minutes, and then we'll be right back and take some questions with Dr. G.
Can't wait.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Great comments in the chat. It's wonderful. Good to see everybody out there. Cookie Killer, Jamie, Franny, Lady MacGyver, got our usuals hanging out there.
Hey gang.
Lady MacGyver's asking about the amount of cheese before bed. Gives her dreams a little craziness. So here, Cookie Killer asks, is it ever good to take a nap? But I think you've already said no.
Well, unless you're a senior citizen and you're not getting your rest. If you're up by some means or some reason, let's face it, being sleep deprived, as we kind of talk, can cause anything from clumsiness to lack of mental acuity, bad decision making, things like that. So if you're tired down, you got the time, you're not going to work, and you're a person of leisure, let's say, or leisure, depending. Grab a nap, knowing that by getting that rest there, you're going to decrease your chances of getting a deeper night's sleep later on.
Well, he goes on to ask, so we were talking about cycles and everything. Mm-hmm. He said, if I do take a nap, does it need to be under an hour or at least 3 hours? He's talking about that cycle starting.
If you want to get a good night's sleep and you want to get that cycle back as to sleeping at night, I'd probably go for under an hour.
Yeah. I think with that, because you always have that issue when you're meditating, even when you hit that cusp where you're like, okay, well, I'm now gone beyond meditation and now I'm starting to fall asleep.
Exactly.
That's when you have to consciously go, okay, time to get up, time to do whatever I need to. I've got my rest. I've got my, my knots untangled for my meditation, and then jump from there.
Got my reprieve, now back at it.
Absolutely. And then that will help you sleep better at night?
Yeah, I'd say grab that hour, and I grab that hour inconsistently, okay? So, and we do run into people with circadian rhythms upside down. And helping the people out there that work the day shift and also then have to work the night shift. Okay, so once again, key when it comes to that, making sure your cortisol is doing good. It's a bad flip. Doc, how often when it comes to my work, they want me to switch, every other week or every other month, okay? Man, talk to the plant manager or wherever you're at, okay? It could be anything. It could be for the airlines, who knows? But talk with them saying it's just better for your life. Your lifespan will decrease if you're doing those shift changes. Okay? It's just very, very hard on the body. And ask anybody who's gone through it, it's true, So I like a consistent shift change. And people say, is it better to sleep at night and not during the day? We have some people, because of the shift thing, they sleep during the day. For some reason, once again, people that sleep at night when it's dark out do better than people trying to sleep during the day, even if we do have the shades, the comfortable bed, the white noise, all this other stuff, okay? But your body has a fantastic ability to adapt. Okay, so we use that body's ability, okay, to create the hormones when we need them, okay, and train the body that if you have to like sleep during the day and be up at night, do your shift, that we can, people get used to it. The body adapts. Okay?
Absolutely. Well, like you were saying before with the melatonin, I mean, the body is eventually going to adapt.
You bet.
That you are taking in so much of that.
Correct.
Or even the tryptophan, that your body's eventually going to be like, I have to have that turkey sandwich
have that
before
level.
I go to bed.
Yeah. True.
And it's going to change from that. So you're saying that we could almost even change, except changing our cycle. The cycle's going to be the cycle no matter what it is.
And your cycle can morph a little bit. It can change a touch, which is okay.
Yeah.
Our body's designed for that. Okay. We just don't want to abuse it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? Let's see here. Charlie Kipper says, "Is sleep deprivation an effective means of torture?"
Okay. Well. Okay. I'd say as a doctor.
You wouldn't
not
use
necessarily.
it
I wouldn't
of the
say.
oath,
I wouldn't say necessarily torture, but boy, it sure feels like it because I think a lot of
goodness.
people have been through that. So it's not necessarily a form of torture, but it's a good way to, let's say, bend someone's will. Poor decision making, less mental acuity.
Autopilot then.
Autopilot for sure.
Zoning out. You see some of those people that.
And then you just eventually will cave. You will cave. Everybody caves. It could be the SEAL team. It could be anything, as we go through our mental fortitude, okay? Do it long enough, and I don't know of a human being that sleep is that important that they won't cave.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, if anything, you'll start doing those micro naps and everything else. Where
you can sleep with your eyes open.
Yeah. You're just driving down the road before you know it. You're
on the shoulder.
Yeah. You're 3 blocks down.
Yeah, right.
Not even knowing it.
The car knows where it's going, but you don't.
Let's see here. Jumbo Packer 9 says, "Is sleep apnea really a big deal or not?"
It is, because sleep apnea. What does the body need? It needs food, water, oxygen. Okay. Well, if you're cutting off the oxygen and the CO2 is building up in your bloodstream, which is sleep apnea does, you're turned off when it comes to your lung-brain concentration there. So with sleep apnea, you startle, as you try to get a deep breath in. Okay. And of course, that's going to interrupt your sleep cycle. So sleep apnea, it's out there. It exists. I prefer a lot of times a mouth guard with that. And make sure, once again, when it comes to a person's cortisol concentration, make sure your hormones are doing good, okay? And sometimes we see it sometimes in heavy-set people, too, when it comes to sleep apnea. So things get in the way.
Oh, absolutely. The other one, let's see here. Jamie asked, "If I die in my dreams, do I die in real life?"
You know what? And here's a weird thing. I've heard that that's true.
Wow.
Not that we're in the Matrix or anything, but how about, dig this. Humans, because of who we are in general, when we have falling dreams, okay?
Yeah.
So we have falling dreams, and you wake up, do you or do you not think a little second before you were falling? Your body goes through all the fright and change and the adrenaline and everything that gets you up. So when you do dream like that, so therefore, what always happens to the body too, this little trick, notice you always wake up before you hit bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Or before you die or before you get stabbed, whatever. People always wake up. So therefore, I don't think your brain's going to allow you to go through the death sequence and have something bad to you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's going to wake you up beforehand, okay? Good question, though. It will wake you up. I would say will. It will wake you up beforehand. Do people die in their sleep? Well, maybe heart attack, stroke, things like that, right? Not because they've had a bad dream.
Well, they don't dream about that. I don't think I've ever had a
We'll have to bring in Freddie or something on that one, so see what's up.
Let's see here. Freddie asked, "Didn't Einstein barely sleep?"
Yes, there are some people out there that function A-okay on 3 to 4 hours of sleep per night, okay? And they don't take naps either. So there are these special individuals, and a lot of them are very much geniuses. A lot of people I know out there, like Einstein, there's Tim Ferriss doesn't sleep a lot, Tony Robbins doesn't sleep a lot. There's all these people that are, let's say, People
the Iron
notice
Man,
Yeah.
sleep regimen as well. Da
Exactly.
Vinci supposedly only slept 20 minutes at a time.
And I can't say that all geniuses get 3 to 4 hours sleep, but let's face it, you're getting more accomplished.
That's very true.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
definitely working more.
And it's a special individual that can do that. Okay, and I mean, and Doc, can you train your body like that? Probably not. It's more than just training your body.
What I always loved on the boat is, I always did the midnight to 6 watch, really late at night and everything. But I got to sleep for 4 hours, stay up for 8, sleep for another 4, and then stay up for another 8. So I still got my 8 hours, but it was broken in two halves. So it was almost like I got 2 work days they squeezed out of me, which
that's hard too. And people say, Doc, I know REM sleep's highly important when it comes to your psyche, okay, as now your mental health in general. And REM sleep's very good with that. A lot of times 6 hours. So if you get short at 4, then you can cut in your REM sleep, but your body does have a sneaky little pathway out there too, that if you're not getting your REM sleep, when you do get to sleep 1 hour into it, you can get into REM sleep quicker because your body needs it so much. So you can get an hour's sleep if you need REM sleep, get immediately into REM, and then get fulfilled that way. Okay, it's not the normal way to do it, but your body adapts.
Okay.
Well, you answered Jumbo's question as they were talking. About the train yourself not to have much sleep. Cookie, on the other hand, asks, what can I do to stop night sweats?
Let's talk about that. Could Cookie let us know, because it does depend if you're male or female.
He's male.
Male, so Cookie's male. When you have night sweats, it's an indicator of another health issue that we probably want to contact you privately on that, okay? So we don't have this on screen on live, okay? I mean, I guess this is just Cookie, then we're not identifying who that person is.
That's fine.
But
Cookie can be anybody, male or otherwise,
be, right?
But Cookie says he's a male.
Okay, so Cookie says he's a male. So when it comes to Cookie here, when a doctor hears that, myself included, when you have night sweats, sometimes that person might have a parasite. Number 1, okay. Not saying you do. I have to disqualify that, okay. When we hear that, we look in that direction, okay. And sometimes we have a more serious condition that I'd probably have you get checked out physically, like have a physical, to make sure things are going proper within your body, okay? So when a doctor hears night sweats, and when it comes to guys in general, sometimes there's something wrong with the prostate. Sometimes there's wrong with an internal organ, okay? So with that, you need further research done on that, okay? And it's important to, if you have night sweats, see your doctor. Get checked out thoroughly, okay? All right?
Okay.
Let me see here. Is it good to have sex right before trying to go to sleep?
I think a lot of people do. I think it's a comfort. People release oxytocin, which is the feeling of being in love. And so therefore, a lot of people do that. It gets you a little worn out, okay? But gives you a great, comfortable feeling, too. Talk about being comfortable, right? Okay? So it's great having your loved one in your arms. And then don't want this to get too hot and kind of maybe have to separate a touch after that. But I think it's a fantastic move. It's a good thing.
Melinda asks, how do you retrain your body from checking on a patient every 2 hours or for 3 years and not having to do it anymore? It's been 2 years since she's had to wake up every 2 hours.
Okay, great question, because this happens when it comes to caregivers out there all the time. And you've been doing it. Number 1, you must admit to yourself that you've been doing this to your body for a number of years. Okay? So if you can get rid of this problem in a number of months, is that a success?
Yeah.
I'd say yes,
yeah.
Okay? So I would have you develop a routine of how you want to sleep. Let's say I want to go to bed at 10:30. Then I'd have you go to bed at 10:30, okay, and I want to get up at 6:30. I'd have you get up at 6:30, okay? So I know that your sleep has been interrupted for a number of years, but once again, we get into, let's talk about routine, like we talked about some routines here. So before bed, get your body relaxed. Take that hot bath, read that book, okay, do some meditation, do some relaxation, and then your body will adapt to getting back to a normal sleep pattern. Can it take months? Yes, it can. Okay? So, but your body's extremely adaptable. I've had other people go through this problem as being caregivers and primary caregivers and things. So yes, you can definitely get back to a normal pattern of sleep. but it can take months.
Well, I'm going to take the last question because I think we've run out of time.
Okay.
The last question for me is, we were talking a little bit about, I guess the not necessarily the night terrors, but being locked up and everything like that. How is that really different than, let's say, maybe lucid dreaming? Starting out knowing that you're going to have this thing.
Level of consciousness.
Exactly.
One's controlled, one's not.
Okay.
So there are 5 levels of consciousness for that. So one deeper than the other. Okay. So when you kind of plan that might be going on or thinking, hey, it could happen, that's a more conscious level thought than, let's say, a night terror when you're actually dreaming or in sleep. Okay.
Do I get about the same rest if I'm lucid dreaming versus maybe just not dreaming at all?
Yeah, some people either A, can't remember their dreams when they think they're not dreaming, but that doesn't mean you remember them or not. Okay, so when it comes to dreaming, you can dream, and you most likely do dream, but you don't remember them.
Okay.
You need to press record on your
Yeah, exactly. DVR my dreams.
Yeah, right, exactly. So yeah.
Okay.
That happens.
And then can I use meditation to kind of go into lucid dreaming? Because there's a lot of people that like getting into that just I know one guy.
We're guided dreaming, yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. One of my friends from the boat, they actually use lucid dreaming to work on some skills that they were doing. He's a machinist, and he uses lucid dreaming to help out with some of the calculations with his machine. He dreams about work is what it seems like.
Yeah, and I do too. Some people go to bed and it's not forced on us, but it could happen anyway. When it comes to lucid dreaming, it's fascinating. Also, astral projection. I love and you're watching, let's say, Doctor Strange movie, the Marvel movie, and here he is. He's sleeping in the bed, yet his astral form is like, learning spells in a book or something, okay? So same thing with lucid dreaming. It's just like he's getting his work done while he's sleeping. It does take a very, very unique and special individual to be able to do that, though. Not everybody can do that.
Talking about adaptation, I mean, I think that's our goal this year. We're all going to have lucid.
Adapt. There you go.
Well, thanks everybody for watching Feel Better with Dr. George Gauthier here on Dr. Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Catch us every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We've actually had our longest show yet, and it's thanks to you guys.
There you go.
For more information about Dr. G, go to Gauthier Functional Medicine. How to spell it is right up here above me. Also follow Dr. G on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Dr. to the Stars, Doctor to the Stars, because I mean, that's how at least I feel talking with you, Dr. G.
Well, thanks.
Is stars, but no, almost literal stars. Dr. G has worked on great athletes, great actors, actresses, everyone like that. For more information, again, Gauthier Functional Medicine, and make sure you give us a follow here on Dr. Broadcasting.
For sure. Next week. Let's talk about next week real quick. Why your labs, you get back from your doctor, why your labs are normal, and you know darn well you're not. That's next week.
You're not normal. The new normal.
The new normal. We're like being normal. Okay.
Exactly. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.